Alrighty then. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and fast forward to about the 90-second mark. That is where I intend on starting. Let me get YouTube finished setting up. What is up, Dove Cayman? I don't know why I'm singing your name. Not bad though, was it? What's up, Sunspan? Creator Studio. Loving it. Seen a bunch of you on. What's up, Crispy? Again, we will be starting at the 90-second mark. I'm a minute late. Mine says 6. Well, mine said 6 o'clock when I started. So, I don't know. Maybe your clock is off. Mine said 6 o'clock. What is up? What's up, Big Chief? Suns fan 79. We are now public on YouTube. Boom. All right. So, we are golden. We are good to go. I do want to get up Shaq Harrison's stats. Live on YouTube. Yep. Live on Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. Someday I'm going to get Facebook working, but we don't have too many followers, so I'm not too worried. We've got way more followers on Twitter. So, and, you know, then in combination with Periscope, that's just a little bit easier. All right, get game logs, and we are all set. If the Suns don't get in, I'm going to quit watching basketball. I feel like it premature with Shaq. I don't know, but welcome to Valley of the Suns Live, the weekly edition. My name is Adam Maines. I'm your host. I'm your site editor. I'm your friend of the Sun. This is our weekly. We still got a lot of losing ahead of us. We've been suffering through a lot of losing. We've got a lot of losing ahead of us, and I didn't catch who exactly said that, but yes, if we don't get DeAndre Ayton, if by we I mean they, the Phoenix Suns don't get DeAndre Ayton, I'm going to be sucked. I'm going to be sucked. All right, that would suck. I'm going to be disappointed. That was terrible. Please edit. Oh, wait, I can't. There is no drop button. Thank you very much. These are actually crystal clear. They're like crystal clear. I love this. So, real quick, the Suns are still second in line for the first overall pick, which essentially is the right to select DeAndre Ayton, number 1 overall. Although I'm majoring in accounting, I have to do geology homework. Ugh, geology. Because even though they have one more loss than Memphis, they also have one more win. So that's what's so crazy is that the Suns have a 27.9% winning percentage. They are tied with Memphis, as in being 34 games behind Houston. But, so 27.9%. Memphis has a 27.3%. I don't know, can they win a bloody game? Let me actually, I don't have that up. Give me a second. They don't play tonight. They play tomorrow. I saw that because I was looking. I was wondering the same thing. By the way, we are 3 minutes in. Go ahead and please heart. I see a ton of those. Let's keep them. Oh, no, they are playing right now. They're listening to Milwaukee. Sorry. Okay, so that's what I saw. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share, please text somebody and go, yo, Valley of the Suns Live. We just started. We're going a whole hour for you guys. Yeah, so at the moment, the score is 62-50. The Bucks are up on Memphis. That kind of sucks because we definitely need 17-game losing streak is probably coming. We definitely need Memphis wins and Milwaukee losses. That's for sure. Because right now, Milwaukee still is holding on to the 8th spot. They're probably not going to lose it. Detroit, I mean, what the hell happened, Detroit? They're still 5 games back of Milwaukee. So let's see. I'm just curious. Right now, Eric Bledsoe in 10 minutes has 8 points, 3 assists, 3 personal fouls, 1 steal, 1 turnover. 0% chance they win. I know. But, you know, we can hold out hope. So anyway, and so long as Miami and Milwaukee, so long as Milwaukee holds the 8th spot and they don't move up into the, you know, they don't win their first round, which they wouldn't beat Toronto, Boston, Cleveland for sure. Then 99.99% chance, yeah. Then the Suns likely get Milwaukee's pick. That likely happens. They likely keep Milwaukee's pick. So that's a good thing. It'd be incredible if Memphis could come back. I'm actually, since I still have that up, Memphis, how are they scoring? Jarrell Martin, JaMychal Green, Marc Gasol, Dillon Brooks, and Kobe Simmons. That is a murderer's row of nobodies right there. That is their starting lineup. Jarrell Martin, JaMychal Green, Dillon Brooks, Kobe Simmons are their starters with Marc Gasol at center. In 15 minutes, he's already got 10 points, 4 boards, 2 dimes. June can't get here fast enough. This end of the season can't get here fast enough. We really need that pick if we want to do anything in this draft. Milwaukee's pick or the number 1 overall pick? Because, again, at the moment, the Suns still have more losses. So, I mean, unless they both lost out, you know, there's still a very good chance. What's up, Big Chief? There's still a very good chance the Suns get that number 1 overall pick. So go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Let's rock and roll. I kind of feel bad for Mark. No, he could have demanded a trade and they would have obliged. Fitzdale was not the problem, but I still think he's an overrated head coach. He could have complained. They would have obliged. He'd have been out of there. So this is his fault. I don't feel bad for him from that perspective. All of a sudden he starts complaining when they suck. And it's like, well, wait a second. They didn't, you know, you could have demanded a trade. And truthfully, they probably would have loved to have traded him. But for whatever reason, he didn't. So they held on to him, which was probably stupid on their part. They should have moved on from him anyway. And so they get nothing, and he's just going to get a year older. And who knows, maybe they did try to trade him, but it's still just, that's Marc Gasol's fault. So, the breaking news for the day is that the Phoenix Suns have extended Shaq Harrison, unless somebody sees. They have still not, and I'm going to search real quick. I still have not seen what his extension is. I like when I search Shaq Harrison on Bing News. The very first piece is my post. Shaq Harrison extension likely spells end for Ulis. That's a good question. I don't know what his contract is. I'm assuming it's through next year. I'm assuming it's the end of this season and then through next season. And I do believe that it is the end of Tyler Ulis. Ulis hasn't been playing. I know he's had a back injury, but he's had a terrible year. His shooting has been absolutely horrible this year. I don't have that up, but it'll only take me a moment. I wrote about it. If I recall correctly, he's only shooting 37%, from the field this season. I mean, that's just absolutely god-awful, especially for a guard. His three-point shooting is only like .006 better than last year, which was still awful. Yeah, so I have it up. He's shooting 37.8% this season from the field. He's shooting 26.2% from three. I mean, that's just awful. And his free throw percentage is 80, but he's only attempted 72 free throws, so it's like, okay, big deal. Alan Williams is coming back. I know, I'm psyched about that. We're definitely going to talk about that. I'm psyched to have Big Sauce back. With Ulis, though, his per 36, and I do want to compare his per 36 because he has started 37 games this year, which I actually did not realize that it was so many starts. He's averaging fewer minutes he's averaging, more minutes this season, but that's the thing. In averaging more minutes this season, he averaged 18.4 versus 22.5. His scoring is still lower. He's played more, but his scoring is still lower because his field goal percentage is so bad. So Tyler Ulis, in my opinion, is done. And Shaq Harrison, they're obviously happy with him, and they're happy with him because of his defense. I want to actually just look at Ulis's steals. He averages 1 steal a game, but to be fair, he's averaging 1.6 steals per 36 minutes. Shaq Harrison, if I recall, is averaging 3.7 per 36 minutes. I mean, that is ridiculous. Per 36, 3.6 steals per 36. So, man, Suns a super dude. We are so close. I'm sorry, my eye is like all of a sudden itchy. What's up, Nick? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. Okay. So then the question though is Shaq Harrison's extension premature? Probably. I mean, it's probably a little premature, but 9 games. But here's the thing: they signed him to his 2 10-day extensions, 10-day contracts. So today it was either you let him go and you don't get him back, or you re-sign him. And so they decided, I'm sure it's going to be like a minimum contract. So they decided, all right, we'll keep him for this year. We're actually interested in his defense. We think we'll get rid of Tyler Ulis. Is my thought. I do think they'll probably re-sign Elfrid Payton. You'll get Brandon Knight back. You'll have Payton, Knight, and then obviously Booker, and then you'll have Shaq Harrison. You'll say, sorry Book, sorry Ulis, but Ulis is out of here, and then you move on. I mean, as I said in the post, they both know that they were premature on the Mike James, even though they weren't premature in that they had to sign him. It was either you sign him or you let him go, and they needed him, so they let him go. So they signed him, excuse me. I'm honestly fine with Harrison, Payton, Knight. Yeah, I think that would be just fine, honestly. And I'm personally excited for Knight. I really am. I know a bunch of people are, but I'm personally excited for Knight to see what he can do. Mike James was terrible, but again, he had to be re-signed or he had to be left. He had to go, and they just decided, we'll just keep the guy that's here. And look at it from this perspective, too. They weren't trying to win, so you needed depth. You needed bodies at point guard, and so, we got Mike James, and then when he just got really bad. Yeah, at first James was great. Well, I mean, they've had several players that were pretty good. Elfrid Payton was pretty great. We can talk about his stats. I do want to look at his game logs here. Obviously, he had 2 triple-doubles in his first 9 games. He's still averaging 14.8 points, 7.1 assists, and 7.1 boards. But his last 3 games, he is averaging, and we're talking Elfrid Payton, 9.7 points, 4.3 boards, 3.7 assists, and he's shooting 36.1% from the field. And I saw some, I played well because there was no scouting report, but that's true. European, or playing in Europe, that is. And I saw a bunch of Orlando Magic fans going, "Yep, that's Elfrid Payton. Those last 3 games. I mean, he did score 14 points against Charlotte in a 7-point loss, but only 3 dimes, only 3 boards, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, all in 27 minutes. So, and then he actually shot a decent 53.8% from the field, which ties. Let's see, that ties the 3rd best shooting percentage he's had in the Phoenix Suns uniform. Why don't these point guards start well then get real bad? I think it's the scouting report. I think that's a little bit of excitement from the team. There's a little excitement from the player, and then the scouting report, and then, everybody realizes, oh, yeah, you're not that great. Although, to be fair to Payton, so he's had, say, 3 bad games in a row. But, I mean, like, in terms of scoring, he's a double-digit scorer per game. He is averaging 13.4 points, so it's tough to get assist, though, when there's only 1 extra starter. True. In one of those games, although almost no one was playing, that was the Charlotte game. Also, a little worried about the same thing happening to Shaq. Shaq will be figured out, but the difference between Shaq and Mike James is that Mike James is an offensive player. Shaq isn't. Shaq is a defensive player. Yeah, the Charlotte game was T.J. Warren, Devin Booker, and Josh Jackson, who, by the way, according to Scott Bordeaux, are all going to be back. So, while I said it was suspicious, and then I was told, this isn't suspicious, it was Charlotte. They could have beaten Charlotte with the full complement. So it's just like you kind of get some bumps, bruises. Devin Booker goes, oh, well, I can't stretch my arm. But 3 days later, he's like, oh, I'm just fine. I don't know. I can't say because I don't know, but come on. There was a little suspicion there, in my opinion. But could have also just been terrible, terrible timing. It's just ironic that you lose your 3 best players on the same day for 1 game, basically, against a terrible team that you really could have beaten. Yes, Shaq hustles big time, but he also plays defense. He has 2 4-steal games. He's got at least 1 steal in his last 3 games, and that's the difference between Shaq and Mike James. Shaq isn't a scoring point guard. They won't need him to be, even on a good team. Even on a bad team, they don't need him to be a scoring point guard. They want hustle. They want defense. He's not going to get you a ton of assists. His max with Phoenix is 4. He's averaging only 1.9 per game. I'm curious what that is per 36 minutes. But it is his defense. So per 36, he's averaging 5.1 assists. But again, it's the 3.6 steals. It's a 3.6 steals. He's also way bigger. He is 6'4" compared to Tyler Ulis' 5'10" that he's listed. 5'10". He's listed, by the way, Tyler Ulis at 150 pounds. Shaq has 40 pounds on him, on Tyler Ulis, that is. So, huge, huge, huge deal. I love that Shaq actually has size and actually pressures 94 feet. Exactly. James took shots away from Booker. TJ, exactly. I completely agree. Mike James was a fun story, but how many games has he played since? I know he was with New Orleans and they waived him. Let me see real quick. If he were really any good, he would still be on a team. And right now, he is not even on a team. He is literally teamless. He played 4 games with New Orleans, averaged 4.5 minutes, and was waived. He literally scored with New Orleans 4 points. Had 6 assists, 1 steal. So Mike James is a nobody. It was a fun story. But think about it. That guy got 10 starts this season for the Phoenix Suns. Shaquille Harris, the best Shaq in Suns history. Don't at me. No, he's not the best Shaq. Oh, Shaquille O'Neal. I loved him. Loved him. So, hey, the Suns have some point guard issues, but that's cool. By the way, we're 15 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share, please text your boys, make a phone call if you have to. Hey, Valley of the Suns Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. We are all here. Not Suns related, but everybody got winning the March Madness, 8 and carrying Arizona at the end. So I'm a Devils fan, through and through. I bleed maroon and gold. I kind of want U of A to win, or at least get to the Final Four, because I want to see DeAndre Ayton play some pressure games. I want to make sure, because I want him on the Suns. Any idea why said back injury. Said back injury is all I know. But I think he's just terrible. He wasn't doing anything for the Suns, and they were probably they've probably signed off on him already. But no, so I do want U of A to make it pretty far because I want to see DeAndre Ayton playing some legit games. I want to make sure that he can play under pressure. And, even if he can't as a 19-year-old, it doesn't mean that he wouldn't be able to as a 25, 27, 30-year-old. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But it does interest me that I do think there is a chance, if everything falls their way, that the Suns can. And I'm going to write about this after the season. This is not going to just be a talking point that I go, oh, yeah, this is my opinion, and then it just dies. Like, I have some legit ideas of how this could happen. I think the Suns can be a 51 team next year. I'm not saying 60. I'm not saying 58. I'm saying 50. I think they can go 50 and 32 with some things, with some specific moves. And I think if Ayton is legit, that absolutely helps. Hopefully, we'll see him in a lot of minutes per game. Yep, he'll have to play Kentucky in the second round, though. He's got a bunch of big games early. Yep, and if he can get through those, and if he can carry U of A, I think that bodes even better for his expectations in the association, and certainly for my expectations as a potential Phoenix Sun. Anyway, I just want to see something real quick. Getting his stats up. We need Doncic, Ayton, and Gordon to go 15-32. No, not Doncic and Ayton. I mean, I would love both. Last year, Ulis didn't look terrible, though. He didn't. He didn't look terrible. I mean, he didn't look great. His last 15 games were incredible. But again, okay, so scoring. He was a bulk scorer. He shot 40% from the field. What was it? Last year, he shot 42% from the field. This year, he's shooting 37.8%. That sucks. I mean, that's just absolutely terrible. You can't have a point guard, especially a 5'10" point guard who only averages 1 steal a game and per 36, 1.6 steals, who can't shoot. He's shot 20. He has a career 3-point shooting percentage of 26.4%, and that's 182 attempts. 182 is not a small sample size. So no, he's not. You need to have a shooter. You need to have a scorer. I love that he distributes the ball, but you can't have your main. Oh yeah, I was at my grandmother's house actually watching it. I was screaming. That was awesome. He looks so great with Alabama, maybe. Yeah, maybe, but I'll tell you what, because they look great together, they're not going to want to play them together. I would not be shocked. I don't understand why he's so rigorous. I don't know. Because the league is bigger. They're faster. He's small, and he's not a dynamic point guard. He was able to get away with some stuff, and then last year he was able to get away with a lot of stuff because he was given, his last 15 games last year, remember, he led the league in minutes. He was playing more minutes than LeBron James. If he wasn't 5'9" or whatever, it was instead of 6'3". Oh, yeah, exactly. But he is 5'9" in a second-round pick. Sauce's going to be solid at the bench next season if he's on the roster. So last year, his last 15 games, all starts, he averaged 39.5 minutes per game. And that was more than any other player in the league. He shot 41.7 from the field and 25% from three. I would expect a center to shoot 25%. He had a 40-minute game, 43, 42, 45, 40, 45. What the hell was the coach last year? I don't even like to say his name. He was just throwing him out there and just saying, go play, kid. And Tyler Ulis did. And he looked fine. And believe me, I had hope too. 19-point game. He had that 34-point game against Houston. That's the one you're referencing. By the way, in a 7-point loss. He had a 20-point game against Golden State in a 9-point loss. That's great. He had 27 in his final game. They lost by 25. Just tell me he's gone. Alex Len is gone. I would keep Ulis under his cheapo contract just to keep Booker happy. But again, Booker understands this is a business. Booker understands that he's not always going to get to play with his best friends. That's just not a thing. And so, granted, his contract is small. It's $1.5 million next year. That's definitely doable. But if it's just for him to sit there, yes, Booker wants to win. If it's just for Ulis to sit there, then what's the point? Use that $5 million to make sure that you go get those great players on the roster that makes Booker win. Yeah, can't shoot a three, but not big enough to get inside shots. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie to you. If the Suns get rid of Tyler Ulis, and then Devin Booker goes, screw you, I want out, then I don't want Devin Booker. It's just like, wait a second. You are a Phoenix Sun. We're building a winning team. We're going to build it around you. Tyler Ulis sucks. And if you're like, I will only play with my best friends, then he's not a competitor. He's just all about, he's LeBron happy. And so I say that, but it ain't gonna happen. You're right. Booker will go, love you, Tyler. I'll buy you dinner for the next 10 years. I don't care. I want to go win. So if we get rid of Ulis and still suck, but they're going to buy, no, Isaiah Thomas is not coming back, but they're going to buy wins this offseason. Especially, I mean, if they get Ayton, if they get Bagley, if they get Doncic, if they get one of those three guys, odds are the Suns are going to be immediately a step better. Hopefully it's Ayton. I'm just hoping beyond hope that it's Ayton. But they should still have a shot at Aaron Gordon. They should still have a shot at least one legit trade. They'll still have a shot at adding some veteran free agents. You know, I know Ryan McDonough said, we're going to look to add free agents that are 23, 24, 25. Okay, well, who are you going to get that's decent that's 23, 24, 25? I think he needs to be shooting for 28 to 30. He needs to get a couple guys that are 28 to 30. Guys that have won, been in the league for like 10 years, 10 years. You know, and then just start building this roster in a more traditional way. You've got your young dudes. You're going to get one more young dude, and then you've got too many because you're going to have to trade at least one of Marquese Chriss or Dragan Bender. I am hoping that the primary free agent is, who do they get? I don't know. I'm hoping the primary free agent they target is Aaron Gordon. I do think Aaron Gordon would be very good. I don't mean it in that sense. I'd keep him around till the end of next year for Shaq insurance. Well, okay, but you're going to have Brandon Knight. You're going to probably re-sign Elfrid Payton. You'll still have Shaq, plus you'll have Devin Booker to play backup point guard. We should just bring back, oh, I'd love Jim Jackson. So you're going to have plenty of point guards. You don't need a fifth. You need 3 plus Devin Booker, and that's enough. So, and I think Elfrid Payton will be back. If we get Ayton and Gordon, who do we even need with the other picks? Well, you probably use those other picks and then like a player like Chriss or Bender and then a contract like Chandler or Dudley, and then you make another trade. You then go find that disgruntled player or that team who's disgruntled, you know, and then you go, okay, now we've got Booker, now we've got Ayton, now we've got Aaron Gordon. Now who's the best available player to trade? We got 2 first-round picks. You can have a third, you know, or you can have one and then another. Plus, we can give a young player in either Marquese Chriss or Dragan Bender. I would still hope Marquese Chriss. I'm just over Marquese Chriss. And then we'll give you an expiring contract in Dudley or Tyson. So it's like, and those, you know, is that going to get you a superstar? The truth of the matter is, yeah, it could. It depends on the situation. You know, you're not going to get Anthony Davis with that kind of a trade, but you can get a good star at that kind of a trade package because you can offer draft picks. You can offer at least one young player still on a rookie contract. There's still plenty of upside for Marquese Chriss. He just probably needs a change of setting, probably, but different coaching. I don't want to say better because I still think Jay Toronto could be fine, and then at the same time, you could still bring in another head coach, you know, and who could be better. Plus, you can then offer an expiring contract. If you have to throw in, I would not want this to happen. But if you truly have to throw in, say, T.J. Warren to get a superstar, I think a package of for a disgruntled star, I think a package of T.J. Warren and Marquese Chriss plus a pick or two and an expiring contract. You know, you'd have to. Presuming that the guy that you're getting is on a big contract, I do think that could be a very, very viable package. You get a team, a young player, at least one, and probably 2, if not 3. You then get an expiring contract, which opens you up for free agency in 2019. So, and I could see that. Plus, then a young player, T.J. Warren, he's a talent. What do we do to get the second overall? Pick Ayton if he's off the board. So if the Suns have the second pick and Ayton is off the board, I actually tend to get the feeling at this point that Marvin Bagley. Yeah, if you get the second pick and you really want Ayton, I do think you could trade up. I mean, you could offer somebody, you know, the second overall pick plus the 15th overall pick and get Ayton. I think that would be enough, too, to move up. I mean, unless whoever's got the first overall pick thinks, listen, we are drafting Hakeem Olajuwon. We are not giving up on DeAndre Ayton. Then, you know, I do think a team could be sold on either Bagley or Doncic plus the 15th overall pick or 16th overall pick. You know, it wouldn't be a bad pick. Bagley, first overall. I mean, they have Gasol already. But I think they want to get rid of Gasol. If Memphis gets it, we could definitely trade up. Possibly. Again, I mean, it's possible. JJJ or Bagley or Bamba. I don't think JJJ or Bamba. I think it's Bagley number 2 and then Doncic number 3. Suns have enough assets to guarantee Ayton if they really want him. Again, I do think possibly. But, I mean, if let's say it's Atlanta, whoever has number 1 pick, whether it's Atlanta or Memphis or if a team, whoever has number 1 overall pick is sold on DeAndre Ayton as developing into a franchise center, those guys are so few and far between. They might be like, No, we don't want a power forward. We don't want a guard, and then it risk at the 15th overall pick. I think Ayton is guaranteed #1 overall. I'd package our pick with Marquise and the Bucks pick. I would hope that would be enough to get done. I would hope that you wouldn't have to package Marquise, but I thought Memphis said Marc Gasol is untouchable to them. Well, how old is he, though? That's the thing. Okay, Mike James' stats are going, oop, whoa. Mike James' stats are going away. I'm sold on Ayton being a French center. I wouldn't trade. That's the thing. If I'm the Suns, I sure as hell wouldn't trade it. You know, if I, if I had the #1 overall pick and the team with the 2nd overall pick came to me, they would have to make some sort of a hell of a trade offer because, you know, just like the Suns, yeah, Marc Gasol is totally tradable. He's 53. Marc Gasol is 33. He'll be 34 next year. No. They would dump his old butt in an instant. Plus, what is his contract? Yeah, and he's making $24 million next year, and then a player option for $26 million the year after. Bye-bye. They would trade him in an instant. So I think if Memphis got the #1 overall pick and they're sold on DeAndre Ayton as like, hey, he's our franchise center, they're not moving unless you're taking Marc Gasol, and maybe that would be the deal. It's like, all right, okay, we'll give you DeAndre Ayton, we'll take Bagley 2nd overall, but you're taking Marc Gasol. And then if you're taking Marc Gasol, you don't have the money to get Aaron Gordon. So do you really even want to make that trade? Because that, you know, that slows your growth because now Marc Gasol is a center on a team that, okay, now we've got DeAndre Ayton, we've got Marc Gasol. You'll have to find some way to dump off Tyson Chandler. So, you know, it just, I would see definitely Memphis. And again, it depends on if that team with the #1 overall pick is sold. I don't think so either. Problem is who has enough cap space to take us all and build a win around him. You don't necessarily need to build a win around him. You might need a team that, like the Suns have been willing to do, that's like, all right, you know, we'll take him with a pick. You know, trade us a pick, trade us an asset. You know, we'll sit on him. It'd be another bad team like Atlanta going, all right, we're going to suck for a while. Give us another first-round pick. You know, we'll take Marc Gasol off your hands. You can have the #1 overall pick. So let's say the worst happens and the Suns fall to the top 2. Let's say the top 2 is Memphis, Atlanta, and then Phoenix is 3rd overall. And Atlanta #2 says, we want DeAndre Ayton. It gets Gasol a ring, yeah. Let's say Atlanta #2 says, we want DeAndre Ayton. You give us the #1 overall pick. We flip you. You take the 2nd overall pick. You got the right to draft Bagley or Doncic. We will take Marc Gasol. We will bench his butt. We will then we'll trade you another first-round pick, but we want our first-round pick next year because we know we're going to suck. And, you know, they develop assets that way. I could see Atlanta doing something like that. I really hope Cleveland doesn't get the first pick. That would be simple. Oh, my gosh. You know they will. You know they will. Believe me, it worries me to this moment. Where is Brooklyn at this just juncture? 3-13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are tied for 6th, although there are 3 teams. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they're tied for 5th, excuse me, although they are tied with 3 teams, Sacramento and Dallas. So they need to slide. If they're 5th, 6th, 7th, they could be 7th, depending on how the coin flips happen at the end of the season. It's not a coin flip, it's like a randomizer, but at the moment they're tied with Dallas and Sacramento. And really the only teams they could potentially leap if they want a little bit of a run would be Chicago or New York. Although they are 2.5 games ahead, behind of Chicago and 3 games behind New York. So they'd have to go on a little bit of a run. So yeah, it looks like they could have the 5th best odds. The Brooklyn picking up the 5th best odds. Although at the moment they're tied for 5th with 2 other teams, so they could technically, even if in that situation, slide down to 7th. We are 28 minutes, 28 and a half, 29 minutes in now. So go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Please text all your boys and your Suns fans and say, hey, we got Valley of the Suns live. We're not even halfway through. We got another half to go, and I will probably go to overtime. So then to your question of, okay, the Suns don't get the first overall pick. They can't get DeAndre Ayton. Who do they go #2? I actually think they still go big. I still think they go with Bagley 2 and then Doncic 3. I've said it many times. This order is going to be Suns, Mavs, Grizz, Hawks, Magic. I would be just fine with that so long as the Suns are #1. I would be absolutely fine with that so long as the Suns are #1. I don't care who else is there. I don't care if Cleveland is #2 so long as Phoenix is #1. And at this point, I mean, as a Suns fan, is that not the goal? I mean, it's just, you get the #1 overall pick. Let's actually check out the schedule moving forward. I will have that here in about 3, 2, 1. All right, so obviously we got Cleveland next. That's an L. Utah, that's an L. Golden State, that's an L. Detroit, I think I called that a win. I said that I think they could win that game, but they definitely want to lose that game because they want to help Detroit somehow try to leapfrog Milwaukee. Milwaukee or Miami, actually, but at the moment, Milwaukee. And actually, you want the Suns to leap. You want Milwaukee out of the playoffs because it pushes their pick up to 11th, possibly. And that's what the Suns can keep it. The NBA guys will punish the Hawks and Grizz for purpose of tanking and sitting players. Dude, I hope you're right. So LLL, Cleveland, Utah, Golden State. They gotta lose to Detroit, and then an L again to Cleveland, and then Orlando. So that could be a win. And then Boston L, Clippers probably L, Houston L, Golden State L. Then Sacramento, if the Suns, how the Suns, I forget, how the Suns played ESPN's JJJ going third? I doubt it. I still think Doncic goes third. Lost, let's see, so I see a loss to Sacramento. Win over Sac. Lost to Sacramento. Win. Okay, so the Suns are currently 2-1 against Sacramento. So, you know, at home could be, and then New Orleans, probably an L, Golden State another L, and then it's the last game. Suns getting Big Sauce back. They winning out. Yeah, they're not winning out. They're losing to Cleveland. They're losing to Utah. They're losing to Golden State. And even if they beat Detroit, then they lose to Cleveland again. They can possibly beat Orlando, but then they lose to Boston. They lose to the Clippers. They lose to Houston. They lose to Golden State. You know, Mo Bamba is better than JJJ. Here's my problem with both of those. As a Suns fan wanting to get a guy that's good, they're both projects. I don't want the Suns to draft another project. They can't do another Bender, Chris kind of thing. They got to get a guy like Ayton that just appears to be a sure thing. He's going to be a sure thing. Or at least, okay, nobody can be a sure thing. Obviously, we've had plenty of #1s overall. My point, though, is that he's more apt to be an immediate impact player. Big Sauce could average 30 and 15 and lead us to a ship next year. Boy, that'd be sick. Who's the guy we get if we get to 4th? Okay, so again, I think the order is Ayton, Bagley, Doncic. I think 4th overall, it becomes a little bit of a crapshoot. I would say probably Mo Bamba 4, just because he does have that potential to be just a blowout kind of player. Although again, I could see it both ends kind of player. I could see JJJ. I'm curious. Let me see right now. NBA 2018 mock draft. I'm curious what we can find real quick. Okay, that's February 22nd. I want something more recent. On NBA, CBS Sports. All right, so, okay, this is stupid. Did somebody just cite this a moment ago? CBS Sports has the Suns #1 overall taking Mo Bamba. Wait a second, when the hell was this? 4 days ago? This cannot be. Really? 4 days ago, Reed Forgave of CBS Sports gave the Suns #1 overall pick, had them taking Mo Bamba, then DeAndre Ayton #2. That is the stupid. Like, what are you doing, Reed? You do not deserve to be doing basketball. DeAndre Ayton #2, Trae Young to Cleveland #3, Bags 4, Doncic #5, Michael Porter. Actually, I could see the Suns going, nah, but they wouldn't go Porter. They must be, yeah. Hell no, LMAO, who's taking Bamba #1. If that happens, clear out the whole front office, exactly. Blow from Bamba, hashtag, I'm telling you. Yeah. So on the same, that is the stupidest. Mo Bamba is not going #1 overall to DeAndre. And here's the really stupid part, is he doesn't give explanations. It's just a draft order. Stupidest thing. Gary Parrish has the Suns. This is January 10th. Oh, that is way old. Okay, so Gary Parrish is way old. That one, I'm not even going to read that one. But updated 4 days ago. Reed Forgave. Oh, he does have full analysis. Hold on, let's read this. Why is everyone so high on Big Sauce? Please tell me. It was fun last year. Okay, he does. All right, so this is from 3 days ago. Listen to this, you guys. You got to look at the 2018 NBA. Well, I'm doing that right now. I'm on CBS Sports. 3 days ago. Listen to a guy I never recommend reading again. Reed Forgave. This is bad. I'm going to call this my ceiling draft. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. So much of the conversation leading up to the NBL draft is what the players' ceilings look like and what that player's chances of reaching that ceiling. I know player comparisons are inherently flawed and unfair to the prospects, but I find them instructive in projecting. Okay, so wait, this might be a little. In this mock draft, I'm taking out one part of the guesswork. Here's the assumption we're working with. Every single player in this draft reaches his NBA ceiling. There is no injury concerns, no concerns about motivation, no concerns that a skill set he has flashed at his youth at collegiate level may not fully develop in the pros. In this mock draft, every skill set we see now will fully develop at the NBA level. Okay, so CBS Sports, Reed Forgrave is saying, okay, every single player will reach their potential. And he is saying Mo Bamba is the best player in this draft. So he says, I was torn on these top 2 picks. I chose Bamba because I believe his defensive potential is higher. I don't know. Ignore them, please. Can we get a live stream? We'll see. I mean, I think I know my son's basketball too. So he said, I was torn on these 2 top picks. I chose Bamba because I believe his defensive potential is much higher than anyone's in this draft. He is the best shot blocker in college basketball as a freshman. He'll have the longest wingspan in the NBA after he's been drafted. He's a potential defensive player of the year in the Rudy Gobert mold. But offensively, I believe he can be much, much more than Gobert. He recently told me he sees himself as a unicorn and models his basketball mind after Magic Johnson. Make your teammates better. I don't think he'll morph into Kristaps Porzingis or Karl-Anthony Towns or Giannis Antetokounmpo on the offensive end. But I think he can be a very good offensive big man who can stretch the floor, play smart, pass out of double teams, and put the ball on the floor. His ceiling is good to very good offensive player with an all NBA defensive skills. Yeah, totally ignore that person. So, okay, that would be cool. So now here's what I would say, is if the Suns have the number 1 overall pick, and they felt that, hey, we think Bamba can, develop into that guy, then maybe you look to trade up for Bamba, although I would still trade up for a guard. I would trade up for Doncic. He does have Ayton going number 2, so let's just hear what his take on Ayton was. Ayton is in many ways the opposite of Bamba. An extraordinarily polished offensive talent with defensive potential that needs some work. In a draft filled with potential unicorns, Ayton feels like the surest shot to actually become a unicorn. The Giannis-like body, a powerful built, explosive 7-footer is there. So is the obvious and abundant offensive skill set. In a world filled with bad player comparisons, the comparison with David Robinson feels spot on. I've been saying that. He has the type of physical presence that, when he walks onto the court, makes jaws drop. That's why you go number 1. You cannot pass up on DeAndre Ayton. The fact is he is not more dominant on defense is a bit befuddling. That's a Shaq syndrome. But even if he can just become an average defensive big man in the NBA, the offensive talent is so massive that he becomes an NBA talent, or an NBA candidate down the road. I would take Ayton over Bamba number 1. So I'm sorry, Reed Forgrave. I get your point. That is a little bit different, but don't mean to hate, but I don't see much in Chris. What are your thoughts? I don't see much in Chris at all. I'm over Chris. I would trade him faux show. All right, so I want to check one more thing. Ayton is a structure like Embiid, and the body says can't. Yeah, no, I've been comparing him to David Robinson and Patrick Ewing. I heard the other day somebody say that somebody said Hakeem Olajuwon, and that would, of course, be incredible. I would take Hakeem over anybody just because, a Hakeem-type player over anybody, just because Hakeem was so incredible on both ends. Why we wouldn't take Ayton? Dude, I'm telling you, that's total trash. You take Ayton number 1. Or have you just given up on both? I have not given up on both. He's like a slimmed down Shaq. Which was Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was a slimmed down Shaq, So was David Robinson. David Robinson was obviously a brute force. I mean, I'm going to take that guy. Give me that guy. Give me that big with your guard in Devin Booker, and you have a Shaq-Kobe-like combo. The difference being was that in LA, Shaq was older, Kobe had to grow up. In this comparison, Kobe is older, Shaq has to grow up. But either way, once you get them both here, those are great teams. Back at LSU, it's just too easy for Aiden. I agree. And he's 7'1", 250. What was Shaquille O'Neal's size in college? Shaquille O'Neal college stats. Let's see if this says what he... Because there's no way it was 300 pounds as a rookie. Oh, geez. Okay, no, they have an LSU at 325. 7'1", 325. So he's a good 75 pounds less. Sorry, I'm a millennial, so I don't really pay much attention to history before me. Hey, technically, I am both Generation X and Millennial. I was born in 83, so I get both. I like those hand gestures. So, hey, we are 40 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please share, please retweet. Please text all your friends. Go, yo, we got another 20 minutes of Valley of the Suns live. And we'll likely go OT. I'm really hoping McD can deliver this summer. I can't take another year of tanking. I don't think there's going to be another year of tanking. I do think they're gonna draft a good guy. Presuming they're top 3, and they are playing to lose. So I mean, they're and by playing, I mean they are strategically trying to lose. Again, I said suspicious, and I was told on Twitter it's not suspicious. It was freaking suspicious that Booker, JJ, and TJ Warren were all hurt against Charlotte, a terrible team. And think about it, the Suns still almost won. You give me one of those 3 guys, and Phoenix wins that game, but they don't want that win. And last week you said that this year is 3 of 3 of rebuilding. Yeah, well, I didn't hear that, but it was fun though. Yeah, so here's the thing. I was actually driving to Tucson during the game, so that's why my tweets are a little sporadic. I was driving alone. But I was able to listen to the Suns broadcast up until Tucson, and then 98.7 went too fuzzy. So then I have XM radio in my car, and I was listening to the Charlotte broadcast, and that was pretty interesting. It was pretty fun to listen to the Charlotte broadcast. But yeah, the fact that the Suns almost pulled that off without Booker, without JJ, without Warren, it's exactly what they worried about, which is why they sat those guys. We need to rest Booker and Warren for the Pistons-Kings game so we can lose. Yeah, what do you want to bet Booker all of a sudden before the Sacramento... What's next? Detroit. Okay, so Detroit is first, and not next. It's between those two. What do you want to bet that Booker goes, oh, my elbow, it's tight again. Oh. Actually, my elbow's kind of tight. I was playing some hardcore foosball the other night. I got foosball elbow. By the way, Detroit, the Suns need Detroit to somehow go on a run and slip past Milwaukee, bump Milwaukee out of the playoffs. Detroit has gone 3, 6, 9, 10. They've gone 3 and 10 over the last 13 games. They have Utah, Denver, Portland, Sacramento, Phoenix in the next 5, all on the road. Then Houston to end a 6-game road trip. They got to, at minimum, split that, although I'd love it if they could win 4 of those 5, 4 of the 6. Suns, yeah, migraines. If the NBA gives us the 4 picking in, oh, it'd be horrible. And then they have Chicago, the Lakers, Washington, New York, Brooklyn, Philly, Dallas, Memphis, Toronto, and Chicago to end the season. Detroit seriously has an easy schedule to end the season. And actually, I have not checked foosball. I'm telling you, I was slamming that, and I seriously got like, it's a little sore. It's just a little sore. So, okay, so I want to see, let's get some more gumbo, Steve Kyler says. Remaining strength of schedule. Okay, so officially the Suns have the most difficult strength of schedule the rest of the way. They're tied with Indiana. I will tweet that out after this. Detroit has the 4th easiest strength of schedule. I got sore from playing Wii Sports. Yeah, I'm telling you. Sometimes just things get sore. I'm an old guy. But Detroit has the 4th easiest strength of schedule. They got to be able to pull out a bunch of victories. They've got to be able to pull out a bunch of those victories. It's just become part of my look. It's nothing other than just I decided a while ago I was going to... So I started wearing shades when the Suns released these new uniforms. I did the uniform release show, and I put them on. I wore some shades because I said these new uniforms are so hot. I was going blind. And I just kind of had fun with it. I wear glasses generally, so if I'm wearing sunglasses, I'm wearing contacts. But if you see me in regular glasses, it's because I don't have my contacts in. So it's just become, he's one of those guys. Yeah, that was stupid. Anyway, so yeah, it just became kind of my shtick. If I had like a silhouette, it would be a silhouette of me with a tie, you know, running with a tie and then shades on. So yeah, Detroit's got the 4th easiest schedule. Unfortunately, check this out. Milwaukee has the 6th easiest schedule. Miami has the 5th easiest schedule. Detroit has the 4th easiest schedule the rest of the way. So they're all probably going to win a bunch of games. It's going to be really hard for Detroit to leapfrog anybody, but they've got to. And then Charlotte, that was when I was listening to the Charlotte broadcast, they were actually talking about, you know, Charlotte's got to start winning some games if they're going to make a run at the playoffs. Charlotte has the 2nd easiest schedule. Let me see if I can get theirs real quick. Oh, oops. Okay, so Charlotte's remaining schedule in order. I just want to see. Somebody's got to leapfrog Milwaukee. We got to get Milwaukee out of the playoffs. Get that pick to 11. So Charlotte has the Pelicans, although they had lost 5 in a row before they beat the Suns. They got the Pelicans in New Orleans, probably a loss. Hearing this news, those were horrible trades by Ryan McNeil. Which ones? Tell me. Share that. What do you want? This is your weekly. Get it all out. Let it all out. We're here for you, baby. So after New Orleans, they've got Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, all on the road. Then Memphis, then Dallas on the road. Then New York. Then a few tough ones with Cleveland, Washington, Philly. And then they end the season with Chicago, Orlando, and then back-to-back against Indiana. How does that give them the 2nd easiest schedule? But I'll take it. Anyone to go after in free agent? Yeah, I would definitely say that I would throw a max contract at I seriously would. I would throw a max contract at Aaron Gordon. I think you got to get a guy like that on the team, and I think if you can create the cap space to sign him, I think you do it. The Milwaukee trade was pure garbage. This Miami one won't really pay off until 20. Oh, the Milwaukee trade got the Suns. No, I don't think it was pure garbage. Eric Bledsoe put the Suns in a crappy spot. They got what they wanted. They got a 1st-round pick that looks like it's going to be... I'd be okay with a run at Julius Randle, but he's not a difference maker. They got a 1st-round pick that looks like it's going to transfer this year, so it's going to be trade. You know, it's going to be a trade asset. And then they got the cap space, so now they can't with Eric Bledsoe on the roster, or if they had acquired a contract that would have kept them, you know, got somebody that would have carried over through next year, they wouldn't have had the cap space to be able to make a free agent move this year, or you know, potentially even acquire a contract and trade. It would have really hurt, you know, hamstrung them. So they got a 1st-round pick, which is definitely an asset. Plenty of good guys have been drafted 15th, 16th overall. It's a crapshoot, but it's plausible. You know, so you just never know from that perspective. But it's also tradable, and not to mention, you've got the cap space this summer now because of Bledsoe to be able to go after. Because Bledsoe's contract is gone, that you'll be able to potentially go after a guy like Aaron Gordon. And I think it would be important for the Suns to go after Aaron Gordon, just max him out if you have to get him. I think he would be a very good asset. He would be a tremendous upgrade over Marquise Chris. Tremendous upgrade. He is a Blake Griffin type guy. Plus, he's 23, and he's already looking pretty damn good. Do I see the Suns drafting floor? Yes. Marvin Bagley, 2nd overall. I think they drafted him 2nd overall. Why couldn't they get anything from Moose? Nobody wanted him. You know, nobody wanted to trade him. So, yeah, I know. That's why you max him, and you just hope that Orlando doesn't want to match it. So that's my point, though, is that not that it's a guaranteed snag, but it gives you that opportunity. Would have to trade one of Chris or Bennett. And I think one of them are absolutely gone. I think one of them is absolutely gone. And I think it's probably Chris, because I still think that Chris has better trade value. Oh, by the way, Aaron Gordon is 22. I said 23. So he's 22 and 177 days. He is going through the concussion protocol. His rookie year is a little troubled, but 2nd and 3rd year, he played 78 and 80 games. This year, he's got a concussion. You know, he's had some injury issues, but he's probably going to be okay for his career. But this year, he's averaging 18.3 points, 8.4 boards. Gimme. Plus, he's shooting 34.8 from 3 this season. And now I know that, like, he started out gangbusters from 3, so let me look at, call me crazy, but I believe in Bender. I still believe in Bender. I love his skill set much better. Aaron Gordon's last 8 games, he shot 35.6% for 3. I'll take that. Not sure if anyone's answered this or not. Do you think Ayton or Bagley would fit better with the Suns? Ayton is better. How am I crazy? You spelled Joe wrong. How am I crazy? You tell me why I'm crazy, and I will defend myself. I will defend myself. I am not crazy. I would max out Aaron Gordon to try to steal him away. It might not work, but I would give it a shot. He is 22 and is averaging 18 and 8 this season. Next year it's 20 and 9. And if you're able to keep TJ Warren and Josh Jackson, put them next to Booker and potentially Elfrid Payton, Brandon Knight, a scorer, and you get Ayton, I'm telling you, it could be huge for Bender. If he puts on some muscle, he could be very nice for us. So I've been saying, and Grant, you guys have to understand, I'm not a prognosticator. If we get Gordon, we'll be Wildcat U, Kentucky. Yeah, that would be funny. I'm not, go ahead. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. We got 10 minutes before OT, and we're definitely going to OT. I'm not a prognosticator. I probably should be, I'm probably the last person you would want to talk to about how is this guy going to project, because I really have no clue. But I'm going to give you my opinion. Aaron Gordon is going to be a damn good power forward. He's going to be a Blake Griffin type. Why did Blake Griffin fail in LA? I don't know. The team was just never that good. I also think that Doc Rivers is a terribly overrated head coach. Sorry, I already mentioned in late if Thunder Dan gave. Wait, what about Thunder Dan? I would bring Dan Marley as head coach. I would throw the biggest contract you could possibly do to Dan Marley and say, come in and coach this team. But I think Aaron Gordon would be very good. You now have the cap space to be able to sign him, and then you'll have, if you're able to do that without doing a sign or trade, if you're able to max out Aaron Gordon, Orlando just goes fine. And Blake just couldn't stay healthy. That's true. Well, right now Aaron Gordon isn't staying healthy, but they're different injuries. Do you think we need a coaching change? No, I don't think the Suns need a coaching change. I wouldn't be against a coaching change. I don't care what Robert Sarver and I would go after Dan Marley. I would go after him hard. I would call Jerry and just beg, what can we do to get Dan Marley? Get him over on the Suns. 8-year, 10-year deal. I don't care. Can't be a playoff team. Yes, and I'm going to write about that. Eddie Johnson, the Suns assistant coach. In fact, Eddie Johnson said on SiriusXM the other day that he's going to be retiring from the Suns broadcasting in a few days and moving to California. He wants to live on the beach. So God bless him. I wish I could do that. I wouldn't want to live in California, but I would love to have a house on the beach. Taxes. But, I would throw the next to him. Oh, shoot. What was the question? Ooh. Somebody asked a question, and then I got distracted because of the mark. Anyway, do the Suns need a new head coach? No, but I think, what is Eric Gordon's contract with the Rockets? EJ is leaving. Yeah, that's what he said. He didn't say when. He just said soon. So I don't know if that's the end of the season, next season, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know. Eric Gordon, I can tell you. Although, I don't know if you're wanting, do you want Eric Gordon? Is that somebody that you want? Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, I do think that the Suns can be a playoff team next year. Now, I'm not going to say top 4. But I do think the Suns can be a playoff team next year with a couple things. Now, I don't want to spoil it too much because I've got my thoughts in mind. Eric Gordon is 29. He'd be a vet I would take as a backup, but he's 29. He's making $13.5 million next year and then $14 million the year after. So that's a lot. I don't want him. I know I love Eddie Johnson. I think Ulis and Len are gone. Len is definitely gone. I think Ulis is very likely gone. I did write about that today. So there are a couple things that I do think would happen if the Suns can make these things, make what I have in my head. If they can make this go through, yes, absolutely, they are a 50-win team, which definitely puts them in the playoffs this year. 50 wins would get them in the top. Likely get them in the top. Oh, that's the East. In the West, 50 wins could actually get them a home court advantage this year. It looks like it could get them in the 4th seed potentially, 5th maybe. But I'm telling you, yeah, the Suns are not that far off. They need maturity. They need to be able to, they need to get another year older. They need to add some more talent. You can do that in both free agency. I'm not sold on Clint Capella, but I am very pleased with, I would be psyched with Aaron Gordon because of his offensive ability. So basically our first-round picks will be crucial. Oh, yeah, well, probably pick. Again, I think, odds are they're not picking 3 first-round picks. They'll definitely look to package those. And look, those could also be packaged. Let's say they get the 2nd or 3rd pick and they want the 1st or 2nd pick. Those picks could easily, at least one of them could easily be moved. I would hope that, for the sake of argument, the Suns have the 2nd overall pick or the 3rd overall pick and they want to move to 1st or 2nd. That they would only have to trade one of those two picks because I do think another one of those picks could be used in a kind of a star-based trade, a veteran star-based trade. You don't really want to dump both of those into a trade to move up a spot or two because then you really do lose out on some assets. Let's say, for the sake of argument, the Suns are third overall and whoever's first says, all right, we'll give you the first overall pick, we'll take the third, but we want both the 15th and the 16th overall picks. Now, when you go to make a trade for a star, you're going, okay, well, we can trade our future first, we can trade Miami's future first. You know, that you start to really lose some options. So I would hope then that they are able to hold on to at least one of those picks if they have to trade one to move up, which then continues to give them options in other trade scenarios. So that would just be my hope. Obviously my dream is that they get first overall pick, and then those other two picks you can just move however you want. How large is Booker's contract going to be? I believe for him a max will be about $24 million. I think I heard it's approximately 24. Chris, Milwaukee, Miami could be a nice package to move to maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, which might get you Doncic, or not Doncic, excuse me, which might get you Bamba, which might get you JJJ, Triple J, J3, J cubed, whatever his nickname might be. I mean, yeah, that could be enough. By the way, I forgot about the Grizzlies-Bucks game. The Grizzlies are down by 8 with 7 minutes left. So Milwaukee, we need Memphis to win this game, but it's looking tough. But they're only down by 8 with 7 minutes left. Houston is crushing San Antonio. OKC is only up 3 on Sacramento. A Sacramento one would be great to just kind of bump them. And then what would that be, at 7:30? So in 40 minutes, I don't want Colin Sexton. I'll answer that in a second. In about 40 minutes, Miami plays Portland. So let's go Miami. Get that Miami. Oh, no. Let's go Portland. Excuse me. Let's go Portland. It's in Portland, too. I might throw that one on. Oh, it's on ESPN. I do not want Colin Sexton. Yeah, EJ said he's leaving the Suns. I don't know when, but I do not want Colin Sexton because I compared him to Eric Bledsoe a while ago. And then that's been the comp that I've been seeing a lot. Let's say we get number 1 pick. Do you think we'll have a better trade to get the number 2 pick? Wait, what do you think we'll have to trade to get the number 2 pick? Oh, geez, a lot. I can answer that, but that would be amazing. I would go after Doncic if possible. I don't want Colin Sexton because of those Eric Bledsoe comparisons. I don't want a score first point guard. And I don't want just a pass first point guard like Tyler Ulis. I want a balanced point guard. And I think that's Doncic and Booker, but that kind of a backcourt. You've got a balanced type player. They are both good scorers. Obviously, Booker is, plus good passers. They've got good vision. So that's what I would want. Over the offseason, we were supposed to kick Kyrie. Do you think that would have been a good idea? No, I'm glad they didn't. At this point, no love for Trae Young. I don't hate him, but maybe he could be, if he's available 6 or 7, yeah, I would give him a shot. If they need to trade up to get him, I would give him a shot. And if you're not using those picks to trade for a veteran, and now, hear me out here. Let's say, for the sake of argument, LeBron James leaves Cleveland. That trade could be Kevin Love that I'm talking about. Let's say you get DeAndre Ayton. And let's say you don't get Aaron Gordon. If you want to trade for a legit star, Kevin Love could still be. He's only 29. I mean, he would be fine for another 3, 4, 5 years. So, I mean, if they're looking like we want to make the playoffs this year and still be young, I mean, you wouldn't have to trade too many young guys. I mean, again, if you could trade the 16th, 15th, 16 picks, Marquise Chris, and I mean, truthfully, at that point, if you could just make that kind of a trade and then an expiring contract, you have to, throw in at least Tyson Chandler. I would take Kevin Love for 5 years. I don't know what his contract is in 5 years. But let me see. But let's say you don't get Aaron Gordon. Kevin Love trade Knight. Well, you still need a point guard, and I would still like to see Brandon Knight, get that opportunity. So Kevin Love is $24 million next year, $25, $26 million the year after. I mean, if you would definitely have to trade at least one of those guys, but playoff book would be crazy. Oh, it'd be absolutely amazing. And then again, let's say you have a lineup of, let's just go with Knight/Payton, then Booker, Josh Jackson/DJ Warren, Kevin Love, and DeAndre Ayton. That's a damn good team again. Who would I rather, Kevin Love or Aaron Gordon? truthfully Aaron Gordon, because right now their stats are similar and Aaron Gordon is 7 years younger. But let's say you can't get Aaron Gordon. Let's say LeBron does go to Houston or LA or anywhere else, back to Miami. Then Kevin Love would be a hell of a replacement. Do you think we could trade for Frank from the Knicks that solve our defensive and point guard? Probably not. And I don't think he's that great anyway. Let me see. Hold on. I want to, before I can never, there we go. Only one player in NBA history that's the first two letters start with NT. Remember, he's played in 64 games. He's only started 3, but he's averaging 5.5 points, 3.1 assists, and 0.9 steals. Per 36, 9.5 points, 5.3 assists, 1.5 steals. What's his defensive? Give me Shaq Harrison. Shaq Harrison is a better defensive player. In fact, okay, so he has a defensive rating of 112. That is legit. Shaq Harrison, only 9 games, his defensive rating of 103. So, okay, so I mean, also Frank Ntilikina has a 87 offensive rating. Shaq has a 104. So that's a huge boost in my opinion. So again, only 9 games for Shaq, but Frank isn't. I don't think Frank is anything. He's a 6'7" raw athlete. Again, okay, so now here's the thing. Paul George, that would be a dream come true. No, I would go after Paul George. I really would. I was going to write about that a while ago. I actually think the post is still active, sitting there, but I never really ran with it. I would probably do that over the summer if you opted out. About going up from again, Marcus Smart though I would be okay with. 5.5 minutes left. Milwaukee's up 10 on Grizzlies. It's going to take a hell of a run here for Memphis to steal this win. I wish they would. 6.5 minutes left, and Sacramento's down only 4 to OKC. I would love it if they stole that win. What kick to give up night when he was coming off the bench last year. Yeah, and again, remember who his head coach was. The worst head coach in the NBA, the worst head coach in Phoenix Suns history. So, I mean, that's why I would love to give him another shot in a better offense with a more mature Devin Booker, with a more mature TJ Warren, with Josh Jackson, with potentially DeAndre Ayton or Bags, or, I would prefer to give him the benefit of the doubt that he can still be a good point guard. I mean, he is only... Give me a second. By the way, somebody said Frank is 6'7". They have him listed at 6'5", 190. And I'm not impressed by him. Looking for Brandon Knight. Brandon Knight is only 25. Brandon Knight is only 26. He's 26. So it's like, Knight is a score first, though. He makes awful shots, what makes him worse. Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely puts up Eric Bledsoe type stats, but I mean, he was still an all-star contender. Yeah, he is 26. So I would still just give him a shot. And again, with better coaching, who's to say he can't be a better passing point guard and a better offense? With better players. His teams weren't very good, and he had to share the point guard duties, like legit sharing of point guard duties. If the Suns said, hey, you're healthy, we'll make you, our starting point guard, you don't have to share, then, yeah, and you're right, you can't, the Suns could use his shooting. You could use an offensive point guard. I mean, he's not a great field goal shooter. It's actually only slightly better than Tyler Ulis, but he's a better three-point shooter significantly. So, I mean, that is a big deal. And again, last year, yo, what's up, Nate? Last year, I mean, it's like he had a horrible, horrible head coach. The system was funky. He had been sharing time. I mean, remember, before Elfrid Payton, he was the last Phoenix Suns player to have a triple-double. So he was still a gamer. If he's healthy, I would still take him. I could seriously see us trading for Franklin with the next one to get a better point. Okay, well, let's take that statement there and let's just think about that. If they're drafting a better point guard, then Frank isn't very good. So then why would the Suns want him? I would rather Brandon Knight. Is Trae Young better? Trae Young couldn't even get Oklahoma into the tournament. He had a horrible second half of his year. Is Doncic better? I mean, probably. Yeah. I don't see the draw on Frank. Would I take him? Sure. I'd pretty much give anybody an opportunity. But I don't want to trade for him. If they're trading because we can draft a better point guard, think about this. think about where is New York drafting. Right now, New York would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 358, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're looking at Colin Sexton. Oh, it's Oklahoma in? Did I miss? I must have misspoke. Sorry. Regardless, he had a horrible second half. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I thought I had heard that, or I thought I'd remembered that they didn't get in. But think about it. So they're drafting 8 or 9. New York is at this moment. So if they're going, we can draft a better point guard. Well, okay, you can draft a better point guard, but then that means that Frank sucks because you're not even going to get the best point guard. The first 2 point guards, no matter how they're drafted, or at least the first 2 guards, no matter where they're drafted, is going to be Doncic and Trae Young. Colin Sexton is probably number 3, which means, is he better? And if he is better as the 3rd best point guard, then is Frank any good? Why would the Suns want him? Everybody thinks they should be out, though. Somehow they got a 10 seed. Yeah, pass on Frank. Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe I'm thinking about the protection, because I actually did watch the show, and the whole release show, and I didn't, my brain, I wasn't thinking. So anyway, yeah, I would pass on Frank personally. Again, I mean, I wouldn't pass on him if if New York wanted to trade him the way. No, he didn't say why he was leaving. I think it was just like he was pretty much ready to retire. I mean, remember, he's been calling games since like 2000. I mean, he's been with the Suns for a long time. If New York would be willing to trade Troy Daniels the way Orlando traded the Suns out for Peyton, trade Frank the Tank the way Orlando was able to trade him, then fine. Draft by Lane replace Chris. He's a better option. Oh yeah, I mean, he is an immediately better option. Marquise Chris was I think, I still stand by that. I'm okay with that Marquise Chris trade because you were drafting on, on potential, and that's fine. So it's just, it hasn't worked out yet, and it still could. I just don't see it. Okay, so by the way, we got 3 minutes left. We are in double overtime. We got 3 minutes left. Go ahead. I'm running from the law, and I'm going to hide. Okay, all right. Go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet, and go ahead and rapid fire. Let's go 3 more minutes. While you are rapid firing questions, comments, concerns, facial twitches, I'm going to tell you that Milwaukee is up 12 with 4 minutes left, with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. I am the law got you. Great teams draft the best available player, not the team needs. Yeah, well, I wouldn't draft by team need. Yeah, I don't see much increase in Keys. Yeah, I don't either. How do I really want the Suns going for agency? I want Aaron Gordon. I want Aaron Gordon. He's 22 years old. He's already averaging 18 and 8. He's only going to get better. He's shooting a good clip, 35% from 3. I'll take that from a power forward. Chris sucks. I would trade him 100%. OKC is up 6 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So it looks like both Sacramento and Memphis is going to lose. That blows. How tall am I? I'm 6'3". So I want Aaron Gordon for sure. Like, that is I would max him out. He's 22. He's a good power forward. He's stretched. He's exciting. He is who you hope Marquise Chris can be, but I would take him now. Again, I just don't think Julius Randle is a make-or-break kind of player. I think Orlando does match, but for some reason they've been acting like they might not. For whatever reason, they've been acting like... I agree. That's my dream, is to get him. I don't know why they would not match, but again, like I said, it just sounds like... the question if I'm streaming next week, the answer is yes, I'm streaming next week. The question is what day. Is this the Suns? Yes, I am streaming on Monday. The Suns, in fact, so I will be able to stream next Monday. The following Monday, March the 26th, the Suns play at 7. So actually, I can stream then. All right, sweet. It looks like I'll be able to stream Mondays from here on out. Because the only reason why I was streaming on Tuesdays is if the Suns played a road game on a Monday. Could we get Jason Tatum? He would fit really well and be a spark. He's young. Well, yeah, he's young. He's only 1 year out of college, same as Josh Jackson. But the thing is, who are you going to trade, and then what are you going to do? So, if you've got Josh Jackson, you might have to trade Josh Jackson. Has power in the paint. Imagine him and Ayton. I would love to imagine him and Ayton. He's 23. If he can keep getting better, yeah. Again, I just don't see him as a game changer, but yeah, I would take him. We have Josh. Yeah, that's my thing. You would have to trade Josh, and I don't like that. How many Suns games have you been? I've been to 0. I just haven't been able to get out. I'm a single father, so it's very difficult. To be honest, well, then you're not going to be able to trade. You're not going to just do it. Josh Jackson 1-for-1. Adam Silver's hook us up with the first overall pick. I agree. Okay, so here we go. We got a debate. Josh Jackson better than Jason Tatum. I like Josh Jackson's skill set a lot. I like it a lot. And I mean, we are overtime. We are now in double overtime. Yeah, I don't think the Celtics are trading him either. But I am curious because Jason Tatum is sunk. Jackson can't shoot at all. Jackson's shooting a lot better. But Jason Tatum... Remember, I wrote that post that Josh Jackson is better than Jason Tatum, too. And I've used statistical evidence to prove it. And remember this. I'm going to be this. Oh, awesome. I would love to be that game. Josh Jackson is the man. Josh has a higher ceiling. I still think he does. I think Josh Jackson does have a higher ceiling. And again, statistically, Josh Jackson has been better than Jason Tatum over the past month or so. So, anyway, we are now in a triple OT. I got a little boy that wants me. Josh would kill Tatum one-on-one in the park. Yeah, maybe. But he also, you know, not he also, but they play in the NBA. So we got to, maybe. That would be cool to know. That'd be a lot of fun. But I got a little boy. I'm out of here. Thank you so much. Wait until his jump shot comes around. And it's coming around. Josh Jackson's jump shot is coming around. I am not worried about Josh Jackson at all. I think he's going to be just fine, if not great. So please, Josh's defense will be very nice. Yes, it is. Excited for tomorrow's game. Me too. Got to rack up those L's. See you later. I'll be back on Monday next week. I don't have to do any more Tuesdays. It's all about the Mondays now. We have no more Eastern Conference weird start games. Thank you, good sir. Salute. I love you all. I do this for you. Please tell your friends, your Suns fans, your family, everybody you know that is a Suns fan, please tell them to watch this Twitter stream, Periscope stream, YouTube stream, every Monday at 6 p.m. Phoenix Suns time. I will see you all in a week. Let's go Suns, baby. Peace.